As the Dreamweaver's monstrous form was revealed, Lady Eleanor Rochefort and Madame Leclerc stood their ground, prepared to confront the twisted remnant of the cosmic horrors that had once plagued Hollow's End. The darkness that emanated from the creature threatened to overwhelm them, but they held firm, drawing strength from their resolve and the whispers of the forsaken spirits. The battle that ensued was not a physical one, but a battle of wills and minds. The Dreamweaver sought to ensnare Eleanor and Madame Leclerc within a new web of illusions, attempting to break their spirits and consume their souls. However, they fought back with the power of the counterspell and their unyielding determination to save the village from the darkness that threatened it. As the battle raged on, the very fabric of reality seemed to tremble and warp under the strain of the cosmic forces that clashed within the crumbling mansion. Eleanor and Madame Leclerc held fast, their minds locked in a desperate struggle against the Dreamweaver's malevolent power. In the midst of the chaos, Eleanor heard the whispers of the forsaken spirits grow louder, their voices merging into a single, powerful chorus that seemed to pierce through the darkness and strike at the heart of the Dreamweaver's monstrous form. With the spirits at her side, Eleanor focused her thoughts and channeled the power of the counterspell, determined to break free from the nightmare that had ensnared her world. With a final, desperate surge of strength, Eleanor and Madame Leclerc shattered the last of the Dreamweaver's illusions, their minds emerging victorious from the battle against the darkness. As the illusions faded, the monstrous form of the Dreamweaver began to crumble and dissipate, the malevolent power that had sustained it finally vanquished by the combined might of Eleanor, Madame Leclerc, and the forsaken spirits. As the Dreamweaver's monstrous form vanished into the ether, the crumbling mansion that had served as its lair collapsed upon itself, leaving only a ruinous pile of rubble in its wake. With the Dreamweaver's monstrous form vanquished, and the malevolent entity that had once threatened to consume Hollow's End defeated once more, Lady Eleanor Rochefort and Madame Leclerc returned to the village, hoping to find peace and respite from the darkness that had plagued their lives. In the aftermath of their battle against the Dreamweaver, the villagers slowly began to awaken from the illusions that had ensnared them. As they emerged from their nightmares, they found themselves grateful to Eleanor and Madame Leclerc, who had once again saved them from the darkness that had sought to consume their world. But the scars of their battle against the cosmic horrors remained, and the whispers of the forsaken spirits continued to haunt Eleanor's thoughts. She knew that the darkness they had defeated was only a part of the malevolent forces that lurked within the shadows of the world, and that the fragile peace they had forged could not last forever. As the years passed, the people of Hollow's End began to rebuild their lives, the memory of the darkness that had once threatened their world slowly fading into the mists of time. Eleanor and Madame Leclerc continued to guard the village, their vigilance a constant reminder of the dangers that lurked beyond the boundaries of their world. One day a series of strange and inexplicable occurrences began to plague Hollow's End. The villagers spoke of shadows that seemed to move on their own, whispers that echoed through the night, and eerie visions that haunted their dreams. As fear and paranoia gripped the village, Eleanor knew that the darkness had not been truly vanquished, and that a new threat had emerged to challenge the fragile peace they had forged. With the whispers of the forsaken spirits as her guide, Eleanor set out to unravel the mystery behind the strange occurrences that plagued Hollow's End. As she delved into the heart of the darkness that threatened her world, she knew that she must once again confront the malevolent forces that had haunted her past and forge a new path to save her village from the shadows that sought to consume it. As Lady Eleanor Rochefort investigated the strange occurrences that plagued Hollow's End, she discovered that the source of the new threat lay in the forgotten corners of the village's history. Long ago, a secret society had formed, dedicated to harnessing the power of the cosmic horrors and using it for their own nefarious purposes. This group, known as the Cult of the Forgotten Shadows, had been dormant for centuries, but had now reawakened in response to the darkness that had once again begun to spread throughout the village. Eleanor realized that the Cult of the Forgotten Shadows had been quietly gathering strength, using the fear and paranoia that gripped Hollow's End to fuel their dark rituals and awaken the malevolent forces that had once been defeated by the Abyssal Key. The shadows that moved on their own, the whispers that echoed through the night, and the eerie visions that haunted the villagers' dreams were all manifestations of the cult's growing power. Determined to stop the Cult of the Forgotten Shadows and save Hollow's End from the darkness that threatened it, Eleanor enlisted the help of Madame Leclerc and the few villagers who still remembered the truth about the cosmic horrors. Together they devised a plan to infiltrate the cult's secret lair and disrupt their dark rituals, hoping to sever their connection to the malevolent forces that sought to consume the village. As Eleanor and her allies made their way through the hidden passages and catacombs beneath Hollow's End, they found themselves confronted by the twisted members of the Cult of the Forgotten Shadows. The cultists, their minds warped by the darkness they sought to control, attacked Eleanor and her allies with the fury of the cosmic horrors that fueled their power. In the heart of the cult's lair, Eleanor discovered an ancient artifact, an obsidian mirror that had once been used to open a gateway to the realm of the cosmic horrors. The cult had been using the mirror to channel the power of the darkness and awaken the malevolent forces that had once been defeated by the Abyssal Key. With the whispers of the forsaken spirits guiding her, Eleanor shattered the obsidian mirror, severing the cult's connection to the cosmic horrors and banishing the darkness that had once again threatened to consume Hollow's End. As the shards of the obsidian mirror fell to the ground, the Cult of the Forgotten Shadows' connection to the cosmic horrors was severed. The shadows that had haunted Hollow's End dissipated, and the eerie whispers that had echoed through the night fell silent. The villagers were once more freed from the grip of fear and paranoia that had plagued their lives. However, the victory came at a great cost. During the battle against the cult, Madame Leclerc had been gravely injured, the darkness that had fueled the cult's power corrupting her very soul. As she lay dying in Eleanor's arms, Madame Leclerc made a final request, that Eleanor continue to guard Hollow's End against the darkness that lurked within the shadows of the world. With a heavy heart, Eleanor agreed, vowing to honor Madame Leclerc's memory and uphold the legacy of their friendship. As she laid her friend to rest, Eleanor knew that the battle against the cosmic horrors was far from over, and that the darkness would one day return to threaten the fragile peace they had forged. In the years that followed, Eleanor dedicated herself to preserving the knowledge of the cosmic horrors and the ancient rituals that had once been used to combat them. She founded an order of guardians known as the Keepers of the Abyss, to watch over Hollow's End and protect the village from the darkness that lurked within the shadows of the world. As the Keepers of the Abyss grew in strength and numbers, the memory of the darkness that had once threatened Hollow's End began to fade, replaced by tales of Eleanor's heroism and the sacrifices she had made to save the village. The whispers of the forsaken spirits remained with her, a constant reminder of the malevolent forces that lay hidden within the shadows of the world. But the darkness would not remain dormant forever. As the years turned to decades and the decades to centuries, the cosmic horrors that had once been defeated by the Abyssal Key and the power of the forsaken spirits began to stir once more, their influence spreading like a malignant cancer throughout the world.